Josh, back in the win column, your UFC debut at a new weight class. Talk to us about the decision to drop down after, it was only a split decision loss in your last contest. How much better do you feel at 145?
I feel great. You know, my goal when I got to the UFC was to fight in the featherweight division, but since I got in at 55s and it was working well for me, I just decided to stay there. I guess kind of complacent, but you know, as far as strength goes, I felt, you know, strength was never an issue in that division, but if you look at the stats, I think it's myself and Nick Hine. We are the smallest lightweights in the division. And so, you know, after that last loss, which I still think I won that fight, I think I won 2-1. So it just eats at me. But I made the decision to drop down to featherweight, where I think I'll be more of an average to bigger featherweight. And I think I'll do really well. You know, I think I stack up well against anyone in the division. And I'm just excited to be in this featherweight division now.
How much of a benefit was it this week to have Andre Fili alongside you? I know you weighed in one after the other. Was that have helped you? Now you were making 145 for the first time in a while.
Yeah, definitely. Andre and I have been training partners for such a long time, and the funny thing is, my pro debut was at 145s, and Andre and we fought on the same card. You know, I think he was 4-0 at the time, and so it was just awesome. Now I'm making my featherweight debut again in the UFC, and Andre and I are right on the same card. So he's a great guy, one of my main training partners, and we're both gonna get big wins here tonight and go have some fun and check out Poland. You know, it's an amazing city, and we've been having a blast sightseeing, and I'm stoked to just keep that going. And it was my wife and I's 5th year wedding anniversary yesterday. And so now it's going to be a fun weekend. We're going to stay here for a few days and then go to Copenhagen, and I got to take her out to a nice dinner. So I was hoping to get that bonus if they stopped the fight in the first round, but it could still happen.
How wary did you have to be of not overly sort of committing in that first round? You know, you dropped him a few times, but you still had 2 more rounds potentially to go. How wary were you that you might have to pace yourself all the way through to the score?
Yeah, and that's what I thought. He was tough, and I know he's really dangerous off his back, so I didn't want to, you know, play into his game and go in there and take a chance of, you know, getting caught in something. But, you know, I train with the best team in the world. I have my jiu-jitsu coach, Felipe Brijo, and, you know, Chris Holdsworth and Fabio and all of us. So I know I'd be safe, but I did have to just tone it down and just wait for it and pick my shots.
Josh, there was a number of times in the first round when you did knock him down. Did it run through your mind that you might be playing possum, or do you think he was actually hurt?
No, I knew he was hurt. I could see his eyes roll back in his head, and he just kind of looked confused. But man, he's just tough as hell, and he's so experienced. You know, I think that was his 30th or 31st pro fight, his like 11th fight in the UFC, and he's had a lot of wars. He's never been finished with a KO or 2 KO, so I was really looking to give him his first loss that way, but you know, it didn't go my way, but it'll come.
Josh, you mentioned that you want to fight in, is it UFC Fresno?
Yes.
Is there any like specific opponent that you're after? Or?
Not really. I think I stack up well against anyone, so I'm up for anything. Shelby and when it was Joe Silva at the time, they asked me so many times about fighting anyone. I've never said no to a fight, you know, but a lot of people have said no to me. And even this fight, I'm not going to mention any names so you guys don't ask me, but this was the 5th opponent. They gave me some people in the top 15. No one wanted it. So I'm up for anybody. I've never said no to a fight, and I'm not going to start anytime soon.
It's a bit of a happy hunting ground for you, Europe now. You had your UFC debut over in Europe. You've now come back and you've won again. Is this somewhere that you'd like to come back and maybe extend this European tour and have a few more fights?
Oh, of course. You know, Rotterdam, that was the first time I've ever been out of the country, and it was eye-opening to me. You know, it's such a beautiful city over there, and I saw so much stuff, just to experience the culture, the people, the architecture, and we just make a trip out of it. So that's why my wife and I, we both got the world tour tattoos, and we're going to keep that going. I almost like fighting overseas more than the States. I've been everywhere. I've been to Vegas. I know that'll come eventually. All my friends and family want me to fight in Vegas. Just gives them an excuse to go there and have some fun. But I love going to other countries. I would fight on that Australia card if they gave me someone in 4 weeks.
Is there anyone in the division that you...
Anybody. Yeah, anybody. Like I said, I will not say no to a fight. I think I stack up well. I'm 32 years old. I'll be 33 in March. I got into this game later than most. I train with the best team in the world. I know where I stack up. So I want to test myself. I don't want to slowly climb the ranks. Just throw me to the wolves like they have, and I'll come back leading the pack. And one more thing I want to say, I wanted to dedicate this fight, You guys still on? I wanted to dedicate this fight to Noah Bentley. It's one of my good friend's son. He was born with a heart condition. He's 11 years old, and he just had heart surgery. If the doctors didn't stop him, he would have, or did that experimental surgery. You know, he wouldn't have made it till he's 18. So I had some shirts made for him, and I really wanted to tell him to stay strong. He's a true fighter. He's an awesome kid, and I told him that we're going to go get this win here. So I want to dedicate that fight to Noah.
Stuff.